Okay, terms of service. Last modified Thursday, 28th April 2022. TLDR: do not cheat or receive assistance in games from chess, computer, book, database, or other person. Be nice and courteous to all other players always. Don't do bad things or break any laws. Enjoy the site. Lichess Terms of Service. Hello there, welcome to the Lichess.org, known as Lichess, an organization governed by the Law of Associations of July 1, 1909. Or in more human-friendly language, we are an official French charitable organization which notably publishes the website Lichess.org. Lichess is free, libre, open-source software that express charitable purposes of promoting and encouraging the play and study of chess. This means that in addition to using our website and its features, technologies, or software for free collectively, the services you can also inspect, copy, and within certain licensing requirements, use our source code. To discover more about our values and philosophy, you can find out more here and here. Why Lichess will always be free, about Lichess.org. These terms of service terms are a legally binding agreement made by and between us, Lichess.org, and you individually, and if it additionally applies to you, any organization or entity you represent, collectively you. And this page governs your use of our website and the services that we offer, so take care to read through it carefully. Although in some places we've had to use certain legal phrasing and terminology for these terms to be valid, overall we've done our best to explain everything in clear, everyday English. By accessing or using any part of this website or our services, we take that to mean that you have read, understood, and agree to contract with us on the basis of these terms. If you do not agree, do not use our websites. If you do not agree, do not use our website or services. From time to time, we may need to make changes to these terms. We will edit the last modified date when we do, and if you continue using our website and or services after that, we will take that to mean you have accepted the changes to our contract. This TOS should be read in conjunction with our GDPR compliant privacy policy and with our fair play and community guidelines. These are incorporated into these terms by reference and make up part of the legally binding agreement we're both entering into. Useful information and resources. Support our work. Lichess.org, Patreon, Lichess shirt, features and updates, blog, contact FAQs and help, contact at Lichess.org, Lichess.org, Grenoble, France, social media for programmers, Lichess.org/source, Lichess.org/API, GitHub.com/Lichess.org, GitHub.com/Lichess.org/Leela/Bob/Mr//copy and MD. Using our website, we invite anyone to access our website other than solely at our discretion which parts of the website, if any, are accessible to you. From time to time, all users may be affected by any maintenance we may need to carry out or rarely technological disruption. We are not liable for any losses or harm to you, real or otherwise, for the website being unavailable at any time. We are also not responsible if some parts or all the website does not work with your hardware or software. You are free to decide if you want to register an account or not. It's entirely optional. Bear in mind that some of our features on our website are fully accessible without an account, anonymous users. The features accessible to anonymous users and registered users may also change from time to time, and we reserve the right to amend, suspend, or entirely remove any aspect or feature of our website. All users registered or anonymous must also comply with our fair play and community guidelines, which cover that our website must be used in a lawful way. For the purposes of this section of our terms, you must particularly comply with the following rules. You must not attempt to gain unlawful access to the website, any server connected to our website, any database or computer connected to our website. You must not attack our website via any kind of volumetric attack or attempt to exploit any bugs, weaknesses, or vulnerabilities present in our website. Attempts to identify weaknesses in our site to report to us are appreciated so long as they do not breach the relevant rules. You must not misuse the site by introducing harmful materials, programs, or code designed to negatively affect the operation of any computer software or hardware. In addition to being against our terms, these particular rules are also against the law, and you may be committing a criminal offense by engaging in these activities. We reserve the right to report any such breach to the relevant law enforcement authority, and we reserve the right to cooperate with them by disclosing relevant information to them. Users engaging in these activities will immediately have access to their account removed. Users engaging in these activities will immediately have access to their account removed and a public label added to their account that our terms are violated. You're welcome to use and reproduce our website for your personal and commercial use so long as you comply with the relevant licenses applicable to the website and their component parts such as fonts, designs, piece sets. Please refer to the licenses section of these terms for further information. For all purposes, commercial or non-commercial, for registered or anonymous users, our website is provided as is, and we can't guarantee the full or partial functioning or full or partial accuracy of what is on our website. Consequently, we cannot be held liable for any of your damage or losses sustained of any type. using our services. In addition to publishing our website, we also offer services which we invite anyone to utilize so long as the relevant licenses and our rules are followed in using them. Our services include, but are not limited to, API access content, game databases, puzzle sets, piece and board sets, streamer sections, coaches sections, user blogs, relying on our moderation or other expertise in all or some of our software. You can use our services for your own personal or commercial use, such as in your own applications, projects, research, or products. Please refer to our fair play and community guidelines, which may further apply to the use of or access to some or all of our services. For further information relating to the licensing of using some or all of these services, please refer to the licenses section, as different licenses may apply to different services. All use of our services are subject to reasonable caps, limits, restrictions, and other bottlenecking which are purely determined at Lichess's discretion. These include private messages which are subject to a reasonable use limitation as well as public chat message. For more information on these points, please refer to our privacy policy. The services available may change from time to time. We reserve the right to amend, suspend, or entirely remove any aspect or feature from our services. Our services are provided as is and may require your own efforts, modification, and resources to ensure that they work satisfactorily. We cannot guarantee the full or partial function or full or partial accuracy of our services. Consequently, we cannot be held liable for any of your losses sustained of any type. In addition, we reserve the right to change the licensing of services we handle. Make publicly available. We also reserve the right to give privileged access to certain categories of our service, such as special API access or remote access temporarily or permanently as we see fit, at our sole discretion and potentially without any advance warning. Our moderation services can also be used to moderate your events, including commercial, but please be aware that in the absence of any special agreement beyond this, our moderation services will be purely on an ad hoc as-is basis. For any special or additional moderation services, please contact us directly. In addition to the fair play and community guidelines, we reserve the right to exclude people from using our services at our sole discretion and determine what constitutes abuse of our services, insofar as the relevant licenses and statute allow for. Creating an account. Users can optionally choose to register an account with us. In select and special circumstances, a user may have multiple accounts. See our fair play and community guidelines for more information. All users who choose to register an account with us must explicitly agree to our privacy policy and other documentation. Because users must also agree to our privacy policy, you must be at least 15 and be the legal age in your jurisdiction. Enter a digital contract year for a relevant legal age with us to register an account, or if younger, you must be authorized by your parent or legal guardian. Those under the relevant legal age may in some circumstances be allowed to have an account if invited to Lichess by their teacher, parent, or legal guardian who can make good accounts to them. In these circumstances, the teacher or other adult making the teacher role is responsible for securing the relevant consent and permissions for the child to use the account. The parents of a child who is signed up via this method are responsible for ensuring that kid mode is enforced on the child's account, which adds additional child protection measures to that account, such as turning off the ability to see public chats. Those under the relevant legal age are assumed to have kid mode enforced by their parents or legal guardian. Consequently, Lichess refuses any and all liability for any inappropriate content any user, including those under the relevant legal age, may have been exposed to. When users register for an account, they are asked to choose a username and a password. These usernames must comply with our fair play community guidelines, namely around inappropriate usernames and impersonation. We reserve the right in sole discretion to determine if a username is inappropriate or if impersonation has occurred, either directly in the account name or from other profile data. Breaching these rules can lead to the suspension of the account from our website and services and remove your access to the account. All activity that happens on the account is the responsibility of the account holder. Consequently, you must keep your account secure. This means you must not share your password with anyone. To keep your account more secure, you can also enable two-factor authorization on the account. We recommend everyone, but especially titled or high-profile users, set up two-factor authorization to help keep your account secure. If you forget your password, you can notify us through the forgotten password link to have the account recovery options emailed to the email address linked to your account. You can find more about keeping your account secure and how to set up two-factor authorization here. If any other person accesses your account, you are solely responsible for all their actions, whether or not you authorized, allowed, or enabled their access in any way. You agree to indemnify us of any consequences from someone accessing your account or of any costs, expenses, claims, or damages which arise in connection with a third party using your account. If you reasonably suspect a third party has gained access or control of your account, you further agree and further indemnify us of any costs, expenses, claims, or damages related to any and all actions we take against your account. In addition, as fully detailed in the Fair Play and Community Guidelines, you agree that we reserve the right to take any action we see fit against your account, and at our sole discretion, we can determine if an account has breached our terms, including our Fair Play and Community Guidelines. For more detailed information on the data we collect from registered accounts, as well as enforcing your rights under GDPR or other data protection regimes, please refer to our privacy policy. content on our website and or services. Yeah. You may be able to submit content to our website or services via various tools and features. Content is a broad term including data, software, text, PGN, annotations, images, graphics, video, or other material. This list is not exhaustive and only for illustrative purposes. Any content submitted is the responsibility of the user who submitted it, including the user's compliance with any applicable laws, rules, and regulations. In addition to this, you should only share content you are legally allowed to share and which you are comfortable sharing with others. If you user rely on any content or material submitted to our website or services or obtained by you through our website or services, this is at your own risk. We may not monitor or control the content posted on our website or our service, and we cannot take responsibility for the content. Consequently, content appearing on our website or service is not an endorsement from Lichess, nor does it mean Lichess is supportive of the content or any opinions on the content. Because we may not monitor or control the content, we also cannot guarantee the completeness, accuracy, or reliability of any content submitted. You understand that by using our website and services, you may be exposed to content that might be offensive, harmful, pornographic, inaccurate, or otherwise inappropriate. In some cases, you may be exposed to content that is mislabeled or otherwise deceptive. We reserve the right to remove content that violates these terms, with particular reference to our Fair Play and Community Guidelines section. This also includes content which may constitute copyright infringement, trademark violations, or other intellectual property misappropriation, or other unlawful conduct. If you believe your content has been copied in a way that constitutes copyright infringement, please report this using the Lichess report function, filling in the relevant form by getting in touch with us as outlined on our contact page. Alternatively, you can physically write to us at lichess.org. Permissions you give us. You retain your rights in any content you submit to and or through our websites or services. By submitting and displaying content on or through our website services, you grant us a worldwide non-exclusive royalty-free license with the right to sub-license that content with or without attribution unless the content you are submitted, for example, to our code repository is licensed separately and defined clearly. This means we are free to use your content, such as to promote it in our website without needing to contact you or pay you for it. You agree we can use, copy, reproduce, publish, modify, and distribute such content in any and all current and future distribution methods and media. You agree that this license includes the right for us to provide, promote, or improve our website and services. This additional use is made with no compensation to you, as you agree use of our website and services is sufficient compensation for the content and grant of rights you give us. You affirm and warrant that you have the rights necessary to grant the rights expressed above, and that the uses contemplated in these terms will not infringe the proprietary intellectual property rights of any third party. Fair Play and Community Guidelines. Both registered and anonymous users of our website and services agree to behave with good conduct. You agree that if, at our sole discretion, we determine your account is not behaving with good conduct, you may have your account access our use of our website and our services partially or fully suspended or terminated. You further agree that if, at our sole discretion, we determine that your content to have breached these terms, you may have your content partially or fully removed, hidden, deleted, or otherwise made inaccessible either to yourself and or others. In all circumstances, you agree that we have the right to partially or fully suspend and terminate your access to our website and services, such as banning or closing your account for any reason without warning and without having to substantiate, clarify, or otherwise provide evidence of a breach of these terms. You agree that this may include your account being publicly labeled as having violated our terms if our sole discretion we reasonably believe you to have done so. Further and additional information may be found in a relevant documentation page. Fair play violations. Some examples of poor fair play are provided below. This is not an exhaustive list and is provided for illustrative reasons only. We reserve the right to take action beyond the examples of bad sportsmanship provided here and to have sole discretion in determining what constitutes bad sportsmanship. Cheating. We prohibit the use of any external assistance used whilst in a game you're involved in is ongoing, which has the effect of improving your knowledge, calculation ability, otherwise gives you an unfair advantage over your opponent. Examples of cheating include but are not limited to using a chess engine, opening books and game devices, and receiving move recommendations from another person or software, including human commentators, while streaming or social media services, and certain software extensions that are discretion. In correspondence games only, you may use the Lichess Opening Explorer plus any other chess books or opening databases. For clarity, these rules have been expressed in this grid. Boasting. This is where a rating is artificially inflated, such as by arranging wins in advance of an opponent, or knowingly playing an opponent who is artificially deflating their rating in an attempt to sandbag. Sandbagging. This is where a rating is artificially deflated, such as by resigning early or losing, having put no real effort into the game against an opponent who may be an active and willing participant or victim. Speed runs. We're not covered by any of the other sections of speed runs, starting from a low rating and trying to increase it as quickly as possible, either being streamed or not, is not currently allowed on Lichess. Rage setting, rage quitting, and aborting. This is when a player chooses to keep the clock running or leave the game, forcing their opponent to wait for them rather than playing on and resigning. These are all considered bad sportsmanship along with aborting too many games too frequently. Sledging. While it's linked to the communications section of our community guidelines, this is the use of chat, draw offers, move takebacks, request time addition, or challenge to a game offers to intentionally distract or throw off an opponent or player. Account sharing. The sharing of accounts is generally not permitted. Users may have a non-shared account for activities like hand and brain for streaming or educational purposes, but this must be clear in the account profile description with names and ratings where relevant to opponents, e.g. by accepting viewer challenges or playing prearranged matches rather than general lobby seeks. Cheating accusations. The public accusation of a player suspected of cheating is not tolerated as bad sportsmanship. If you suspect a user of cheating, please report them via the icon on their profile page or from the report page. Ban avoidance. The creation of new accounts to avoid restrictions applied to previous accounts to avoid the respective bans without explicit permission from us to make a new account is not allowed. Multiple accounts. Having more than one account is not allowed barring specific circumstances. For example, title players are automatically entitled to one public account for play. Okay. Multiple accounts. Having more than one account is not allowed, barring specific circumstances. For example, titled players are automatically entitled to one public account for play in certain prize events hosted either by Lichess or another tournament organizer, and one private account for casual play online while still displaying their titled status. Untitled players can create a second account for similar reasons, with some examples including having a private account to hide opening preparation, playing blindfold games, or playing games without any other self-imposed impairment. Creating an excessive number of accounts, typically any more than 3, will generally not be allowed regardless of reasons. Creating and closing multiple accounts will also be treated as contributing to this maximum number. As with all other rules, the specific circumstances where multiple accounts are allowed remain at Lichess's discretion. Penalties may include but are not limited to just timeouts, rank banning, leaderboard bans, a public mark on the account, identify the account as violating our terms, closure of the offending account and any related accounts, revocation of some or all communication privileges, having access to our website and our services partially or entirely removed, or being in a separate playing pool, and IP banning or device banning. Multiple penalties may be applied, or any mix or combination at our own discretion. Community guideline violations. Some examples of bad conduct are provided below. This is not an exhaustive list and is provided for illustrative purposes only. We reserve the right to take action beyond the examples of bad conduct provided here, and have sole discretion in determining what bad conduct is. Inappropriate communications. These include any private or public chat which makes another person feel distressed or attacked. Some non-exhaustive examples are abuse, harassment, spam, public shaming, cheating accusations, extremism, trolling, racism, sexism, or bigotry. In addition to being against our terms, on some occasions these communications may amount to unlawful or illegal behavior, and we will cooperate with relevant law enforcement authorities when deemed necessary. You can find more information on chat etiquette, forum etiquette, blog etiquette, and our communication guidelines by following the relevant link. Inappropriate usernames. Usernames are public and displayed all over the website, meaning children or vulnerable users may read them. A username chosen with the intent of generating negative emotional reactions will be closed. This includes sensitive topics, disparaging usernames, sexism, racism, bigotry, adult language, or usernames otherwise unlikely to cause harm or offense. Abusing copyrighted material, intellectual property. Examples of these would be the sharing or distribution of chess literature, puzzle sets, annotations, or any other material, intellectual property you have the right to share or distribute. If you think your own copyrighted material, intellectual property has been used without permission, please report the user and get in touch with us. Impersonation. This is when a user pretends to be someone who they are not, including impersonation or implying that you have a nationalified title. This may be due to a misleading username or any other public or private information or communications. In some cases, we may ask for ID confirmation to check who you claim to be. Abuse of our infrastructure resources. This includes abuse of our APIs, violating our rules on multiple accounts, abuse of payment features, and any attempts to work around our protections generally. This also includes abusing any third-party service provider you rely on or hosted by. Please contact us if you would like to discuss our protections, including any rate limits. Financial crime. Those who donate with stolen credit card or other financial details are suspected of donating with stolen credit card or other financial details are absolutely not tolerated. We work closely with our parent providers to stop and prevent this and take robust action against those violating or suspected of violating this policy, including working with the relevant law enforcement authorities where appropriate on this issue and related, such as proceeds of crime and suspected money laundering. Breaking into accounts. Any kind of activity such as a programmatic approach or social engineering approach to access another user's account or password is not allowed. This activity is illegal in most circumstances and jurisdictions, and we will cooperate with the relevant law enforcement authorities. Any volumetric or programmatic attack or exploit, including DOS denial of services, distributed denial of services. It should go without saying that attacking or exploring our website or services is not allowed. This activity is legal in most circumstances, jurisdictions, and we will cooperate with the relevant law enforcement authorities. Please report any detected security vulnerabilities to us. Penalties may include, but are not limited to, rate limits, removal of patron wings, timeouts, public marking accounts having violated our terms, revocation of some or all communication privileges, closure of the offending account, and any related accounts having access to our website and or services partially or entirely removed or being in a separate playing pool, and IP banning and or device banning. Multiple penalties may be applied, or any mix or combination at our own discretion. Your right to appeal. All users publicly marked or restricted from using our website or services will have the right to appeal. When a user appeals, Lichess Mars look at the relevant information and evidence again. The exact composition of the appeal panel is not set, but includes highly experienced moderators with additional expertise or qualifications in the fields of statistics, computer science, law, and chess, including active title players, rated 2,400 plus, or general information about appeals and what you should include in an appeal. You can find out more here. All fair play marks are considered in light of the jurisprudence of the Court of Arbitration for Sports, and while we're not bound to them or a signatory to that court, we follow their precedents and require burdens of proof closely. It is important to note that you agree that our word is final and that penalties will be applied at our discretion, that we have no obligation or duty to provide you with our evidence or reasoning. In some jurisdictions, this will not affect your statutory rights. We will never share the reason for a mark with anyone other than the account holder without their agreement or without the existence of a contract to which they are party. Outside this existence of an agreement or a binding contract, we will not share the reason with a coach, friend, party, parent, arbitrator, the media, nor with a national federation, nor with neither with FIDE. Consequently, because there are multiple reasons for a mark, nobody other than the account holder will ever be entirely sure of why a mark occurred. If you are appealing 6 months or more after a moderate action was taken against your account, we may not be able to investigate it. In circumstances or more than 6 months have passed since the moderate account, we reserve the right to not investigate the appeal from your account. Patron is a French charitable organization which doesn't believe in advertising or tracking. We're entirely dependent on donations from users to stay running. Your support is really important to us and allows us to do more of what we do. Users who donate to us are called patrons. Patrons are publicly visible on the donation page. Okay, how much more is left? Alright, break. Alright, I just want to take a quick break. Okay, Patreon. Wait, actually, let me get up and stand up real quick. Alright, Patreon is a French charitable organization which doesn't believe in advertising or tracking. We're entirely dependent on donations from our users to stay running. Your support is really important to us and allows us to do more of what we do. Users who donate to us are called patrons. Patrons are publicly visible on the donation page and also by receiving an icon on the user's Lichess profile page, which displays the user as a donor. A donation is an entirely voluntary gift and doesn't exempt the donor from these terms or our fair play and community guidelines. Donors do not get a different set of rules to follow, and beyond the visual Patreon aesthetic and trophy on their Lichess profile page, unlock no additional features. A donation to Lichess is a gift. If you donate, you're not getting a share of Lichess, nor does it create a contract between you and Lichess. Once you have donated your gift, you give up your claim on those funds without any expectation of additional services. To donate to Lichess, you may need to provide additional details to our parent providers, such as payment providers such as PayPal or Stripe. By donating, we assume that you are familiar with the terms of service and privacy policies of the parent provider you're using and agree to be bound by their policy documents. When donating, please refer to our fair play and community guidelines, as some practices such as fraudulent payments or using stolen credit cards will result in your account being closed and may constitute illegal acts where we will cooperate with the relevant law enforcement authorities. If you make a mistake during the donation process, please get in touch with us. Although refunds are at your discretion, if it's clear you made a mistake or were double charged rather than donating and then violating these terms, we will generally give you a refund if you contact us within 14 days of the donation. Ending these terms and termination. You may end your legal agreement with us anytime by deactivating your account and no longer using our website or services. See our privacy policy for more information on what happens to your information. We may suspend or terminate your account or stop providing you with part or all of our website or services, features, or functionality at any time for any and no reason, including but not limited to if we reasonably believe You have violated these terms of our fair play and community guidelines. You create risk or legal exposure for us. Your account should be removed due to unlawful conduct. Your account should be removed due to prolonged inactivity. The provision of our website or services to you is no longer financially reasonable to us. We may not be able to provide you with reasonable written notice of any action we are planning to or intend to take. In all such cases, the term shall terminate, including without limitation, your license to us. In all such cases, the term shall terminate, including without limitation, your license to use our website or services, except all sections which can have force shall continue to apply to you and us even on termination of your account. If you believe your account was terminated in error, you may be able to file an appeal. Review our fair play and community guidelines for more information about appeals. For avoidance of doubt, these terms survive the deactivation or termination of your account. Privacy. By agreeing to these terms, you also agree with our privacy policy, and our privacy policy applies to relevant sections of these terms, even if or when not explicitly highlighted. External links or third-party providers. To make full use of our website and services, you may need to follow a link which takes you away from our domain. You may also need to register with or make an account with a third party, for example, making an account on GitHub. We are not responsible for any content or material posted on those external websites or services and are not responsible for the accuracy or correct labeling of links. They naturally have their own privacy policies in terms of service. We assume you are familiar with and agree to if you take part in our community's website or services which are off the lichess.org domain. Likewise, we are not responsible for any issues directly or indirectly arising out of their oversight or responsibility, negligence, or which occur via a third party's website or service. We have no private Discord or GitHub or Twitch, for example, and so not can be held liable for problems relating to or happening on those sites. Indemnification. You agree to defend, indemnify, and hold harmless Lichess, our contractors, contributors, licensors, and partners, and their respective directors, officers, employees, and agents of the aforementioned indemnified parties from and against all third-party claims and expenses, including all third-party claims and expenses, including legal and or attorney fees arising out of or related to your use of our website and services, including but not limited to from your content submissions or from your violation of any of these terms. Disclaimer: limitation of liability. Our website and services are provided as is with all faults. To the extent permitted by law, Lichess and the indemnified parties hereby disclaim all warranties, whether express or implied, including without limitation warranties that the website and services are free of defects, merchantable, fit for a particular purpose, and non-infringing. You bear the entire risk as to use the website and services for your purposes and as to the quality and performance of the website and services, including without limitation the risk that your hardware, software, or content is deleted or corrupted, that someone else gains unauthorized access to your information, or that another user misuse or misappropriates your submitted content. This limitation will apply notwithstanding the failure of the essential purpose of any remedy. Some jurisdictions do not allow the exclusion or limitation of implied warranties, so this disclaimer may not apply to you. Except as required by law, Lichess and the indemnified parties will not be liable for any indirect, special, incidental, consequential, or exemplary damages arising out or in any way related to these terms of the use of or inability to use the communications, including without limitation direct and indirect damage for loss of goodwill, work stoppage, loss of profits, loss of data, and computer failure or malfunction, even if advised of the possibility of such damages and regardless of the theory, contract, tort, or otherwise upon which such claim is based. Some jurisdictions do not allow the exclusion or limitation of incidental, consequential, or special damages, so this exclusion or limitation may not apply to you. Licenses. Various parts of the website and services use different licenses. Anyone intending to use or replicate the website and services to do their own research and due diligence into the various licenses used to ensure they are suitable for intended purposes. Lichess is not responsible for a person or legal entity failing to do their own due diligence. Whilst we attempt to update the licenses and their authors on a best efforts basis, we cannot guarantee the accuracy of the information or that we have submitted the most recent license history. The majority of Lichess, the Lila open source project, is licensed under the new Afro General Public License is published by the Free Software Foundation, either version 3 of the license or at your option any later version of Lila is distributed in the hope that it will be useful, but without any warranty, without even the implied warranty of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. See the new Afro General Public License for more details. For more information on the license on specific libraries, please find more information here. For more information on the source code, please find more information here. Happy coding. Disputes and jurisdiction. In the event of any dispute, in the first instance, You will seek to settle this with us informally via the lichess.org/appeal process. In the event of the appeal process being exhausted, you may further write to us via our contact page. Alternatively, you can contact us in writing at, for unable to informally come to a solution, you will agree we will go through arbitration at a place of our choosing. In any event, you'll need to give us written notice, otherwise we won't be able to help you. These terms represent an agreement between you and us. If any provision of these terms are held to be invalid or unenforceable, you agree that provision will be limited to the minimum enforcement possible and the remaining terms held with full effect. As a French registered charitable organization, our website and services are provided from our registered address in France. We cannot guarantee and make no representation that our website and services are appropriate or available in all and other countries or jurisdictions. You agree to be bound by French law in following these terms and agree to be responsible for following any local laws or regulations with which you must be compliant beyond these terms. Modification of these terms. We may update these terms from time to time to address a new feature of the website or services or to clarify our provision. The updated terms will be posted online. If the change is substantive, we will announce the update through our usual channels. Your continued use of our website or services after the effective date of any such changes constitutes your acceptance of the changes. Advertisement on the domains that we own and have control over, as well as our official mobile apps, current and future. We guarantee neither currently have or will host advertising or trackers of cookies beyond one, which ensures you do not need to log in after every refresh, which can see and control through your browsing settings. Which you can see and control through your browser settings. We consider there to be an ethical difference between online tracking advertisement and sponsorship of an event. Where appropriate and in reasonable quantities, we will recognize the official sponsors of an event such as a chess tournament. We unfortunately cannot guarantee an advertisement-free experience on third-party websites and services out of our control. Twitch, for example, does not allow us to fully opt out of adverts appearing on our official channel. However, where we take a best efforts attempt to reduce or minimize advertisement on our third-party provided channels as much as possible. Miscellaneous. These terms constitute the entire agreement between you and us concerning our website and services and supersede any prior versions of these terms. Okay, I'm still recording. The website and services in these terms are governed by the laws of France and the EU where relevant. In the event of a conflict between a translated version of these terms and the English language version, the English language version shall control. In the event of a conflict between these terms and relevant additional terms, the additional terms shall control. If the additional terms are unclear, these terms control.